Good day, good love, good light, illuminators and way showers. Thank you for being with me on Wednesdays with Wendy. And it was supposed to be at 111. So I wanted to thank right away off the bat my buddy Bree, my assistant, my technical advisor, but first and foremost, friend, because we were friends before all of that. So thank you so much, Bree, for your help. Yeah, so sorry for the delay, guys. Just, YouTube and Google, but, you got to love it. And so let's just all take a little moment to send out great appreciation to Google and YouTube for allowing us to have this modality to connect. I cannot tell you guys. Okay, well, I go all over the place because I don't know where to start. So if you're new to my channel, thank you for being guided here, where this is a place that I feel like I've come full circle. As I started this Languages of Light's YouTube channel, boy, what's it been, like 4.5 years ago now? This was one of the things I've really been wanting to do since the beginning. And since this has grown so wonderfully, and not just the channel, but this world of light languages and awareness and the people I've gotten to connect with and meet because of the light languages, this is how I'm already getting goosebumps. This is what I've envisioned for so long. And then I met Bree, and we've been talking about doing this on a regular basis for several years now. And you know how it is, life happens when you're making plans, right? And I've been so excited about this. And one of the things, this space and this place and this now is really dedicated to all of you. Every one of you that have, whether you're new to my channel, or thank you all who have been with me from the beginning or anywhere in between, commenting, supporting, sharing your experiences, whether you're speaking them or not. And then eventually, as I was guided to share this in a bigger way, and so this year I started with Bree's assistance and design to start a website where I was able to really more fully engage in a more interpersonal way. And so this really was born several years ago, and it really has come full circle in the making. But it was primarily because so many of you that I've met along the way, I have been so honored and graced by so many of you that along the way have sent me like voice clips and symbols and helping us all interpret and understand and clarify and how to apply all of this interesting information that we've all been gifted with. And I believe that I want to say right away that all of us contain this ability, this gift. It's a part of awakening our psychic abilities. It's a part of learning how to self-heal. It's about learning, first and foremost, for me, about how to love myself, about how to embrace who I am and learn how to create my own reality. So there's so many layers to all of this. So I want to say thank you to all of you for being here, for all of you that have interacted with me. I have gotten to the point now too, over the last few months, between my own personal life and physical things that have taken my energy in different directions. I felt as if I wanted to connect in a way that I haven't been able to, because so many of us want to get together and learn more about what are we saying? How do we use this? What do these symbols mean? Sharing each other's symbols with each other, and languages, light languages with each other in all the forms, whether it is that you're speaking them, singing, toning. Are you writing symbols? Are you receiving messages, psychic messages? Each and every one of us are experiencing different layers and levels of these. And over the last few months, I've really been applying these in a more interactive way, I guess. And so, and I was seeing this wanting and this need for all of us to interact in a way that we haven't, where I'm delighted to see how many more people out there, as we're activating each other, are becoming activated and sharing their own gifts and abilities. And as every one of us are starting to understand how it is that I'm me, each and every one of us, you, in our own unique way, are sharing these. How do you share them? How do you apply them? What do they mean to you? If for many of us that have started this, I think, whether it's we started speaking as children, I started speaking light languages about, August of 2014. I had already become familiar and had been activated, as many of you may know. And if you don't, I found Bashar, channeled by Daryl Anka, was my very first channeler I ever saw. And from that moment on, something happened to me. Something emotional, something physical, something physiological, something psychic, telepathic. And I didn't understand it at all. I didn't understand what was happening to me. I didn't understand why I was feeling so emotional. But I knew this was part of my path, and I didn't understand what or how, but I knew that it was. And the very first things that activated me were the Syrian sacred circuits that were given to us through Daryl Anka, channeling Bashar. And from that moment on, I knew something told me I would start writing these. And so when he explained how to use them in different ways and to physically write them, because it rewires our brains, it changes our cellular structure. That was all. I wanted nothing more than to figure out, how do I do this? How do I connect to that? How do I understand what this means to me, and why am I feeling this emotion? And it was during some of those events that were little peppered out there on YouTube that I heard the first light languages ever spoken. And in my search of Bashar and other channelers and light languages, I actually came across every single person that was doing light languages. At the time, there weren't that many that were doing them outwardly. And now I'm even finding, such as Linda at Hack here today, that, so many of you have been doing this for so long. And I was like, how come I didn't find it sooner? Why didn't I know? Why did I not know that Daryl's been channeling for 30 some years, when I have been begging the universe to show me what I am and who I am? But it wasn't my time, I guess, right? So part of what I wanted to bring with all of us today, and I have been hesitant, as how many of us have a hard time committing to something, right? Where even attending something regularly, it can be challenging, but to commit to actually hosting something. And so my life took a lot of turns over the last few years, and I've moved from my hometown and relocated from north of Chicago to Tennessee. We're retired here now for the last little over 2 years here, and leaving everything I've ever known, and my family, and that's a whole nother set of synchronicities. That one of the things I wanted to share in these gatherings too is how, when we're applying these light languages, or when we're speaking them or writing them, how also does this affect all of our other parts of our lives? How does it affect how we see ourselves, how we interact in the world, how we become more authentic? How does it, I truly believe light languages themselves were the critical path for me, the creative path, the songs of my soul, to literally help me open up all of these other parts of me, but yet understand they're all connected to me, and I'm connected, and we're all connected to everything on some level. So why not me? One of the things I said to my mom when I finally told her that I was, speaking these languages is, and I didn't understand at the time, why me? And she said, well, why not you? And so why not you? Why not all of you? This is what we came to do. We are psychic, telepathic beings that, and I wanted to talk about being shy too. How many of us, I can't tell you guys how shy I was growing up. But it was because I truly believe, and I was having this conversation with my guides this morning, and in my excitement of getting all this together and thinking about how and what I wanted to share. And every time I started to take notes, they're like, no, you know better. Just go with the synchronicity, go with the flow. And and I said to them, speak through me, and the words of love, higher connection. And how do I convey that to the world, that everything's connected, that we're all on this journey together? And that light languages for me was a way for me to become unshy, because I really believe that many of us, well, in my case, I always wanted to learn a bunch of languages. I always wanted to communicate. I was always exuberant and wanted to connect with all beings of all places, all over the cosmos. I've always believed that, and the angels, and so when I first started hearing them, and I was having these emotional responses, I knew that somehow that there was messages and information that was also coming through, that it wasn't just about the languages themselves, but about this feeling that I was getting and then I would get these packets of information, and then I would start hearing voices, like actual conversations. And last night I was so excited and I couldn't sleep, and I went outside and I'm meditating, and all of a sudden I'm having this conversation, and it's the Lyrian Syrian Council, and I'm just like, even again today, I'm like, is this really happening? Am I actually having this conversation? And all of a sudden I hear, get up, it's time to go to bed. I walked in the house and I looked at the clock, you guys, and it was 1:11 a.m. And so here we're talking about starting this event at 1:11. My home address is 1:11. So again, it's about all of these signs and symbols and numbers and connect. And so the beginning of my journey began, as many of you already know, in this journal. And the very first things I began to write were the sacred symbols. And today, as we bring this together, two of my favorite numbers, 6/5, 2019, June 5th, 2019, 6 and 5 is 11, and 2019 is 3. And 11, 1 + 1 = 3. Everything's an alchemy. Every single thing that you and I are doing today is an alchemy that has never been created before. Every time we share a light language together, every time we speak to the trees or the water or Gaia, the ground, every time we connect with each other, we are creating something brand new. We are changing the blueprint reality. We are creating this. I've had dreams where I've woken up, and this is another thing I want all of us to share too, is I dream about where they showed me one night, I was like, what? I was creating light languages in my sleep, and they said to me, each one of you that has begun to speak light languages has in your way devoted yourself, a part of your being, to taking responsibility for a part of this, like, matrix, like this blueprint. Like, each and every one of us, as we activate each other, are activating all these portals all over the earth to allow this higher love, higher information, and allow all of us to begin to connect our synapses in ways that we never could before, and connect with each other in ways that we never could before, and awaken our psychic senses, awaken our own abilities. And and each and every one of us that I've met, that speaks these languages, I've heard everyone express, I don't know why, but I need to express them. I need to speak them. I need to go out in the world and speak to the trees and the flowers, and help people understand how this connects you to, how does it balance my chakras? How does speaking light languages to plants change my reality? It changes their reality. It changes our awareness. One of the very first steps of becoming a sage, and I don't want to go into that too much right now with Willa, but about the idea of connecting to the earth in a way that we never have before, and how it, when I very first started speaking these languages, the very first thing I was guided to do was speak them in nature, and then alchemize that information. And then I started little by little getting like interpretations of the packets of information that I was receiving. And then I would hear, oh, we are the Syrian Council, or this is, I am your, Lyran guide, or I would see visions of my Native American fractals of me, my guides. And so for me, light languages became the tool for connecting. And today's date being 6/5/2013 equals 14. And isn't it interesting how 14, the sacred symbol from Sirius, is connect, and that we began this full circle journey together, connecting in a way that we haven't before. And it's funny because my friend wrote this for me a little while ago, and she kind of she was looking at the website, and she was kind of drawing these symbols a little bit, and she said what she was feeling was completing the circle, mirrors, truth, and love. And I felt so deeply today that idea of completing circles, and that we really, each and every one of us, are a mirror, a reflection of each other, and that everything in our world, whether it's a blade of grass flickering, or the bluebird that came to my window this morning, or all of the animal collectives, every single thing is a mirror for us. It's a part of us sending us a message. So when I began the channel, and I said, well, what do I call this? I don't, what is this? And they said, everything in creation. And that's when Emily came to me, the emissaries of the Light Collective. And they said, everything speaks a language of the light. The light is what everything was created from. Everything emits a language of light, and each and every one of us, so that's already starting, has the ability to manipulate physical reality by intention, and my intention alone is what I said. I want to do that. I want to know how to do that, and my intention alone is what really began this journey. And how that even began with feng shui and intentional placing of objects around my home, and that was and then all of these other things that were learning the law of attraction, and then becoming familiar with other channelers and Abraham, and then finding Human Colony, the people that in a gathering just like this, that I began speaking light languages. And from that moment on, it was like a rocket ship for me. Nothing was more important to me than sharing this. Nothing. And even though my family didn't know anything about it, my own partner didn't know anything about it, I married my childhood sweetheart, and we're still married, and yet I still felt like this was something sacred for me that I needed to explore alone first. It felt like a child to me. It felt like I gave birth to something new, and I wanted to nurture it and understand it and bond with it. Even though I was still sharing it and talking with other people in Hangouts, it was as if there was a part of me that the rest of my 3D world wasn't ready for, that I needed to explore it and understand it more deeply and more fully first. And so for me, I was a closet light language speaker, even though I was out there in the world on YouTube, but the people in my family weren't really, in that radar. So eventually, about a year later, after I started my channel, I told my partner, and it was kind of funny too, because, oh, there are 11 here. Woohoo. And it was kind of funny because he said to me, well, that's nothing new. That's ancient. And then he started telling me about his mother and how she used to go to seers and how she went to these circles. And he really thought she was also doing this kind of work. And my mom even sent me something today that said something to the effect of, you wanted to heal, so you became a healer. Now, coming full circle is really huge in that a lot of things have happened to me in these last few months. And I tell you, I don't know about you guys, but this ascension stuff has really kicked my butt these last couple of months. April and May was probably one of the most difficult months for me. April and May, I mean, physically, I was physically ill. I went through just nausea, lethargic. I was sleeping, oversleeping. And then it was just all of this weird stuff. And my diet was changing. All of these things were happening. And it was almost as if I couldn't do enough videos to share all of this information with everybody. So I felt like I really wanted to have a place where we could talk together and share these experiences, maybe in ways that we haven't yet. And how do light languages affect you? Do you speak them? If you do, how do you apply them? How has it helped you? How has it hindered you? What has it done for you? How has it affected how you interact with your family and with everybody, with the people that you work with? How many people are working, regular jobs and still wanting and going out there in the world, but being afraid to go out there and be themselves and share this? And how social media is so strange because it makes us want to go out there, but it also makes us want to hide it. It's very interesting how there's all these layers to all of this. And I really feel like even when I'm having a physical moment or an anxiety moment, as soon as I just center myself and start speaking light languages, it's as if this unconditional wave of love opens up, and my heart opens. And even this morning, I was having a meditation, and this being came to me, and he told me his name and what planet he was from, and he started talking to me, and I started to kind of get really emotional. And then I kind of had to zoom back in, and because I was like, oh wait, I got to go get ready, and I need to do these things. And about 10-15 minutes later, I was trying to remember what his name was and where he was from. It was gone. I mean, completely gone. Even right now, I can't remember his name. Can't remember what he said. I think he said, I'm from something about, and he was like, he's like, I would explain it to you, but you wouldn't understand anyway. And you don't have, he said to me, the capacity, you don't, he said to me, you don't even have the vocabulary or the understanding to even for me to explain to you where I am and what I'm doing. He said, but I come from this place. And he said something like the 420 galaxy. And then he said, we're shaped like eggplants. And he said, we're shaped like what you would call an eggplant. And he was explaining how they interact with each other on their world. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, okay, did that actually just happen to me? Did I really have this conversation with this being that says, but we can't imagine something we're not the vibration of. And so whenever we're connecting to this information, we will always connect to the layers of these light languages when and how our body needs to receive them, whether it's physically, mentally, psychically, physiologically, whether it's physical healing. I've been actually applying physical healing. I've had some dental stuff going on. And I've been applying the light languages literally to my jaw and while I'm brushing my teeth. And so then I asked my guides this morning, or was it last night? I forget. And I said, well, wait a minute. But I thought I'm not healing my actual body. I said, I thought we're raising our vibration. And then they said, it felt male, so I say he. And they said, well, but that's exactly what you're doing. When you're applying the light language, yes, even though you think you're applying it to your jaw, you're literally changing your vibrational blueprint structure of your own vibrational light body reality, and to where what you're saying ultimately is, I don't want to experience this anymore. I want to vibrationally change my experience, and I'm going to, so we can call it applying it to a particular place on our body or to a physical dis-ease. But really, what we're doing is we're changing our structure, our blueprint reality that we're vibrating now in a state of being that no longer contains that thing. That is, for me, one of the biggest awarenesses, or what, realizations, maybe that's the word I was looking for, realizations about the applications of light languages. And it was, and even Anna said the other day in the hangout with the Keepers of the Codes, she said, I believe it can be applied to anything. And that is exactly why I started this channel, because I believed that wholeheartedly, that it didn't matter what it was that we wanted to energetically focus on or heal. Healing is a state of being. Healing is your state of perfect health, where you're vibrating in a place that's so harmonic with your highest core vibration that version of you does not contain the things that you wish to, I want to say, embrace and love, not release, because it's all about acceptance and self-love. As soon as we begin to feel resistance about absolutely anything we're doing, we create ill at ease. And then a lot of times then my guides will remind me, start speaking some light languages so that you can get yourself back into the vibration, the state of being that you prefer. And then we want you to then act from that place, because we tend to act from these places that are less than where we choose to be. And then we attract people, places, jobs, homes, whatever, or circumstances in our lives that are less than what we desire. And so I truly felt that by encompassing and embracing and one of these light languages, it is assisting me in connecting to my own self-love. And what I wanted to say earlier about light languages was, for those who are shy, and like I was painfully shy, but it was because I felt like I didn't have a voice. It was because I felt like what I had to say wasn't important. It was because I felt that no one was, that I couldn't understand why even adults couldn't understand the way I saw the world. And every time I tried to express that, well, you're just a child. You don't, or even my mom would say, well, you're very wise for your years. But there's that there's this disconnect, though, that we're not nurturing that in our children. We're not, having conversations with our children about this stuff. And I wanted to bring that up too, about This is another reason why I wanted to do this, because so many of you have children that are already speaking light languages. This connection to our star families and whatever all this is about, as far as connecting and preparing ourselves for connecting with our star families and our hybrid children and so forth, the children are the key here. The children are the key to changing how we do things in schools, how all of it, how we bring our children up now is to express their truths, to understand that everything is a mirror, that it doesn't need to be judged, it needs to be loved and accepted, and that when we are given the opportunity to speak our truth, we are speaking from this place of divine love. And so I'm going to take a drink of water here for a second, and I wanted to thank every one of you, and each and every one of you, I wanted to picture a circle of each one of your team, your guides. Each and every one of you that's watching or sitting in this room together has a team of your guides, and each one of you and each one of us are interacting with each and every one of those guides. And each and every one of those is a mirror for each one of us. And what I'd like to do is I would like all of us to take a moment right now to send appreciation and gratitude to each and every one of those beings, physical and non-physical, who is here today with us, your guides and my guides, because together, once again, this is an alchemy. This moment, this way, this now, this time, this energy has never been before and never will be again. This is very important for all of us to understand how powerful you really are, and how that's what they said to me this morning and last night. It's about all of you becoming comfortable in your power and listening to your truth and how it is that you are guided to express, however you express your love and your expression of a language of light. For every single thing, every one of us is a universe, a unique verse in the entire symphony of Source. Every one of us. So, Nyakoche tequila kisinasete ilakora ishenase. And I want to show all of you, see, Masashinikia, water, light languages, intentions, manifestation. I've got my beautiful purple bottle here. Many of you have asked about my colored bottles for my water. One day I was guided to use different color water bottles for different intentions. And the very first one I bought was purple. And then I have this amazing glass, which is just so representative to me of our multidimensionality, about how each and every one of us is a beautiful kaleidoscope that's always changing moment by moment. And that is how we are seen from our guides, is this beautiful kaleidoscope of ever changing colors, and how color and frequency and languages and what we emit and our auras and our chakras and how we connect to our guides and our psychic system, how it's all connected, and how we're beginning. And I'm laughing at all these postings now on all the social media about research is now showing. And all of us are probably laughing, going, yeah, we've been telling you that for how long? Now you just have to prove it, right? We didn't need it proven, did we? We already knew. So it's all about that. It's about pyramids. It's about symbols. It's about hieroglyphs. It's about crystals. And today I was grounding with Gaia, and I said, I saw my roots connecting and wrapping around all the crystals, all of the crystals in the planet. And I said, bring me this energy into this gathering today, and bring the energy and the information and the essence of all of the crystals that want to send a love and energy today. So anybody who has a drink of water, feel free to take a drink of water. And I am going to open it up right now. to gratitude to each and every one of you for being here. And so present today, I wanted to personally thank Brandy and of course, Bree. Thank you so much for moderating, for all of your help, for your calmness when I'm not.
Anytime.
And she's like, just breathe.
Okay.
And David, thanks so much. I'm glad you're able to attend. I'm so excited. Dolores, Ava, oh my God. Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. So many of you have connected with me, email, private messenger, my website, and I'm so excited to be in your energy. Linda Lee, I love you, love your work. I love what you do. You have been such an inspiration to me. I cannot tell you. I'm delighted that you're here today. And I want to thank you personally and publicly for allowing me to share my light languages with you and in your group, and it just and the messages and information that come through you and your psychic information and your light languages is just truly invaluable, each and every one of you. So I wanted to just say that out loud. And Moonlight, another one that I've met through the Keepers of the Code group. Just the energy of your light languages is truly just it makes me feel like bubbles. I don't know how else to say it. It just makes me feel like bubbles. And Rachel, oh my gosh, I'm so delighted. First of all, if you canceled your class today, I thank you because, and as I said, we're hoping to do this, barring any unforeseen situations, every Wednesday. So, but I wanted to thank you if you canceled your class tonight. Thank you for being here, and all of you and your time differences, because each and every one of you are from all different places, all over the globe today. So the time differences, and so I wanted to thank you for making the effort to be here, and how you and I have been such also an inspiration to each other. And when I first started hearing you speaking light languages, and how you were also hesitant to put yourself out there. And I was like, oh, you've got to share this beauty with the world. And so I just wanted to say and express to you also, thank you for being here. Thank you for putting yourself out there and sharing what you do with the world. It really, and the video that you made yesterday was so great about all of this, about how this affects us and how we're so afraid to go out in the world and be who we are meant to be. And it was really such a heartwarming video. If you haven't seen it yet, and all of you are, welcome to, in the comments of the video, when this is all done, please, all of you, if you want to post your stuff and your links and you're more than welcome to do that, because this is all about connecting and sharing and gathering, and how so many of you I never get to talk to because there just aren't enough hours in the day, and keep it, I got laundry and stuff and a dog, and I've been remodeling my house for 2 years straight, and it's still under construction. So it's like all of this other stuff that goes on in our lives, but yet that's what this is all about. It's about, we have physical lives here, but what is this all doing? So, and how is it affecting all of us, and what are we all doing with it, and how do you guys use it, and what does it mean to you? So, and Temple, Alicia from Temple, beautiful. Thanks so much also for joining me. And if many of you may have already seen many of the events that I've done with Bree and with Temple, together and individually. I do a lot of the light language linguist lounges where we do oracle readings. That's something that has become another part of my life through light languages. When I started speaking light languages and meeting other people, and I started getting dreams about being an oracle reader, I got interested in oracle cards, not tarot, but oracle. And as a means of a language of light, as a means of our guides giving us information through another modality, and how each and every one of us, whether we're writing, speaking, signing, singing, toning, are literally changing the color of our structure, where our guides, the way they showed it to me was, every time we realize something new about ourselves, or show ourselves self-love, or speak our truth, or become more authentic, different pieces of our and different parts of reality and our guides different, we become the frequency of different things at different times. And then I had to laugh this morning when I couldn't reconnect to that being that I was talking to, the eggplant being, that he said, I heard, it's because you're not in my frequency anymore. You broke the frequency, and now you're it's like now you're wanting it to recreate it, but you're not in the right state of being to recreate it. And so you know what I mean? So it was a very interesting thing how that happened. So I just wanted to thank all of you. And so I just wanted to kind of check really quick here too, with Bree, and to thank all of you out there, to see if there's any questions or comments, outside in the YouTube chat. And then what I wanted to do was, I'm going to, maybe I'll call on each person. And what I wanted to do is have each of you share something about, share whatever you want, like share a light language, and maybe how a little brief thing about how you use it, and how it helps or affects you in your life. And I also want to open this up on in general, and I'll have Bree help me police this, because I want you guys to be able to interact with each other too, and to say, oh, I got this impression when I heard Rachel. I got this, so that we can begin to reflect off of each other, how some of the information that we're getting and receiving from each other, and the messages because I believe that each and every one of us has a message for each other, as well as for the overall collective consciousness. So anyway, with that said.
Well, we did have a comment from Michelle Kidd, who's watching on YouTube, and she said, I'm from Vega in this incarnation. If I get stuck on anything, I talk in Vegan, and I can clear energy and achieve things I usually struggle with ease and grace. It's so beautiful. And I commented that it is incredible how fast light language can shift any energy or any mood, at least for myself. It's like, I'm feeling stinky, having a stinky day, and just shift right into yes, and it's like it just kind of can dissipate the frustrations, at least for myself, which is really great. So and then we have some other people who want to join, but the room's already full. So
is it really? I was like, oh, is it really? Because I know Ivy wanted to get in too. So yeah, if you guys are still not clear on how, if you're still not sure how to get in, Bree, tell everybody again how to get in case you want to come in the room.
There's a post, or there's a link at the top of the YouTube live chat to the blog post, and the blog post has the join link in the comments, but we have to have room. There's only 10 spots.
There's only room. I didn't even realize that we were already full.
But you guys can post in the YouTube live chat and comment and stuff when we're watching that. So,
and this is one of the reasons too why I wanted to do this weekly, because it's just not enough time to get everybody in and get everybody's different schedules, and it allows me to interact with you guys, more frequently than I'm able to now. And I'm telling you guys, I feel really bad about that I can't spend the time I want with everybody on an individual basis as much as I want to. And so this was hopefully a way that we can interact with each other. So
yeah, for sure. Anyway. Well, I wanted to comment quickly. I guess I'll start, and then we should just pass this
yes, please.
Which would be lovely. But just really quick to add for myself. One example I can give is, in a frustrating situation with some people who are arguing in my family and just having to hear this really nasty argument. And I just step aside and I just start to, I don't know if it was like Arcturian or something, it was mega high energy. And I just like let it go on my own off to the side. And it completely shifted my entire, then instead of me being in the consciousness of why would he say that? Why would she say that? Why would they do that? And just kind of judging the argument or judging how it's going. It shifted me into this place of like, it's happening the way that it needs to, and it's going to be all right, and everything's going to work out. It just shifted my own perception of the whole circumstance and being able to see it from a higher perspective, which we talk about a lot.
That's
the ego
very
perspective,
good.
getting to your spirit guide and everything, Wendy, one of your many animal guides. So yeah, that's something that I've found myself really enjoying. And of course, this isn't to say that light language is a way to distract ourselves or escape from nastiness. We have to go through that here. You know, it's a part of the journey, of course, but it's our perception that really makes the difference in how we are choosing to move forward. Always how we're choosing to move forward. And for me personally, light language just allows me to be free and connect to who I really am deep down, and not all the programming layers of gunk that we get stuck on us. You know, focusing more on why I'm really here and not all the drama. So that's something I wanted to add. And maybe nihitiat o hashin ya har au indi dias oto she yani yoho how ar I sin ish o I int as ar at is aus o I na ayus o ho hot oto ho shan ya ta ar au se.
And I was just saying, how could I have been so remiss? By not beginning with but see, I get so excited, it's like I don't know where, you know. So but there's no one way to do anything, and that's what I wanted to remind everybody too.
No,
that it doesn't matter who's doing what out there and how they're doing it. And Bree knows this has been a huge challenge for me, is just be you.
Yes.
Just be you. Yeah. And that is the nut of it, because as soon as you start thinking you need to be doing it their way, or I should be doing it this way, you will become paralyzed. You will not be able to do anything because you will judge every step of the way. And I was guided to look at right on my front porch. I have a picture hanging there with a bicycle with a flower basket, and it says, "Enjoy the ride." And that is exactly what my guides told me today. What is wrong with you? Why? Just go have fun. That is what this is all about. Now, again, like Bree said, it's not always fun, but it's about finding that neutral. It's about finding the beauty in even the unconditional love of loving your moment despite the conditions around you, and understanding you're perfect. It's perfect, whether it feels perfect or not.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we got through most of the people in the room here, Wendy. But
yeah, did I miss anyone? Brandy. Brandy, did I say? Oh,
Brandy,
there she is. I just wanted to, I didn't get to, I said, oh, there's Brandy. I wanted to thank Brandy too. Another one of my, just the comments you guys leave, and I just love you all so much. And I just wanted to let you know how important it is for me to convey this to you. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this, is because I don't always get to respond to everybody. And I don't always get to hang out privately. And I don't always get to do all the things I want to do in a day. So Thank you, Brandy. I just wanted to thank you again personally. Yeah. And I just want to make sure did I
David
miss
and
anybody who's
Dolores.
come and gone?
I think David and Dolores. Oh, Alicia's
And
friend.
David, yes. David, Dolores, of course. And Dolores is another one that we met a couple of years ago. And her languages, she and I, there was something. There was that that connection. And again, we live a world away. She lives in Croatia. I'm here in the United States. But there was that immediate connection. And over the last couple of years, I think it's been probably 2 years now, I think, since we met. And we've done I've had her on my channel also, doing languages. She's got her own light language channel. So I'm loving how each of us are being activated and illuminating our own gifts to where we're off now going out there and doing our own thing. But I wanted, and again, my guides are talking to me while I'm talking to you, in that they're telling me, just be you, do it your way, be you for me. So Nyakosha na te laki sa marihila ko na marakosa na leala. Lambogosha na torinkaya intashanase ikisha sonose tekilaki sonomaikia. And out of a lot of coincidences this past weekend, a lot of coming out happened for me. And it was interesting that Bree was there, and I'll talk about that later. But I was guided to show you guys this apple that my mother gave to me. And these are chakra colors. And she got this one for me because, well, one, because it's yellow, and she calls me her sunshine. And because yellow topaz is, I was born in November. So yellow topaz is the main birthstone for November. So, but it was interesting because when she handed this to me, and I've been telling her more and more about me and this channel and light languages. And I said to her, you don't really understand the significance of this, because one of the things that I was told very early on, and I've been telling all of you in these videos, is each and every one of us are teachers of the teachers. We are the teachers of the teachers. And even Bree is a teacher in her own right. And so it's interesting how each and every one of us, I wanted to show this to you because each and every one of you are a teacher of the teachers, the next wave of those who will teach how it is that we want this earth to be, that we want this life to be, and to teach and nurture each and every one of us, especially the children, about not stuffing people in judgment boxes. Love is love. You love who you love. And that when we teach children the tools of how to be mindful, of how to become in that state of being, if we teach them how to be loving to themselves and work through their emotions, and as I've been sharing a lot in social media about meditation in schools, all of these things are what we are here to teach each other about, how it is that we teach the next wave. This, and each and every one of you is playing a very critical, crucial role right now as teachers of teachers. So I wanted to share that with you very briefly. So do we want to go one by one, Bree?
Yeah.
And call on people. And if you don't want to talk, that's fine. Another thing I wanted to put out there, many people have said, I want to join your hangout, but I'm too shy. I'm too afraid. So a couple things I wanted to throw out there for you guys. One, you don't have to turn your camera on. It's not necessary. If you want to stay incognito, I get it. It's okay. So just so you guys know, you can participate and you don't have to have your camera on. If you're more comfortable, that's okay. So I just wanted, because this is how I started out without my camera on. For months, I would speak without any. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that's part of the process. So it's okay. Accept it, but do it scared. Do it scared. So go for it, Bree.
Okay, well, I'm seeing that
Who would
Dolores
like to share
unmuted her-
next, or shall we call on people?
Dolores, did you want to say something? You unmuted yourself.
I can say, okay, I'm very happy for the opportunity that I'm here with all of you. Very thank you. What to say? I believe I'll start with light language. Miahalara neti okahawana naha. Mai mawahanyo no koho. La leia nihieto antaranakayo. Mai mawahayo. Nihileia yakoaha. Nihileia yanahe. Naharanakayo. Naharamemawe. Yahwana tihereya atiananaho.
Nitiana kote shana ila kina no aqua. Timononi aqua kaliana ita sanakala. Leshono oro unana kiata isatakea. Sonosopoya. I guess what I was expressing right now was, because I'm feeling kind of teary-eyed all of a sudden, was Miachotakia. It's like every time she speaks, it's like I'm feeling something I can't explain. Dakabosonatelekia. An emotional sister, some connection I don't understand. Thank you. Come on, keep talking.
I also wanted to say that when we two are together, every time similar energy and feelings came out, and those I don't understand, and I'm not sure what connection and what connection, what is the. Sorry, everyone, my English is not perfect, but I will try to say what I want to say. There is some special connection between two of us, and not only between two of us, but you and me. We know each other. We know each other's for a very, very long time, and I believe from pretty much higher frequencies of existence than we are now here on Earth.
I completely agree.
Yes, and but I'm speaking light language. This connection started to be touchable, and I don't know how to explain. Okay. Mahare keranan tayoholor kama mahwana tekehayana liyan nehei ket ayanono no hoa maneke. Lai manana hayoko, lai mana maharanete keya, nihinekia wahaniato koho, namaraman tananahai ktera avananaha. I believe you said before that we can say something about how light language affects us. I can say that light language is some kind of not tools, but help to put my mind aside, and that what I really am came forward, and I become aware what I really am. I became aware that I'm not only the human in human forms, only the soul in human forms, only the being on earth, but that I'm almost omnipresent, and that I am almost everything that is. And my view of what I'm seeing changes, and that what was unpleasant few minutes ago, now it isn't unpleasant. It isn't pleasant, but it isn't unpleasant. It is, yes, it is, I can say everything it is, and everything is okay, everything is well, everything is just like it should be. And light language helps me in to become aware of all of those stuff. Yes.
Yes. Oh, that was very, very well put. Very well put. And that's another thing, you guys. When I very first started hanging out in these hangouts, I was completely impressed how every single one of you from all over the world, you think you don't speak good English, but let me tell you, you guys convey yourselves very, very well. So, so don't let that stop you. And thank you so much. I still can't, again, I can't explain that bond that I feel and that we're a world away from each other. But the moment we met and she started speaking light languages, I knew that there was something there that I couldn't deny. So thank you so much for expressing that. And I wasn't sure exactly if I should just keep going in a row. Is there anybody maybe who wants to respond to that? To
Oh.
Dolores, or to her or her light languages or something she said?
Well, a response would be wonderful if somebody has a response. I don't mean to be rude. I don't know how long Moonlight's
Yeah,
going
and
to
if
be
there's
around.
any
Moonlight
right,
knows
and if there's
that-
anybody who's pressed for time and
Yeah.
you need to talk and you need to get out, or if it's late for you,
Yeah.
please say something, put it in the notes, or just unmute.
Yeah.
Just unmute and say, hey, I gotta go. I want to talk. So
So Moonlight
I want
knows-
to keep this as, I want to keep it structured, but not,
Yeah. So she can go ahead, I think, just because she said she has to go.
yes, please.
Okay. Hi, Wendy. I'm
Hi, darling.
glad
It's so
be
good to
here.
see you here. I love her voice so
Good to
much.
see you. I just wanted to say some light language, if that's okay. Tua moto asaki soa no moto koani asia no amozoa kio no atakani soa nakala kuana di kuatakana kuana tiki eta motakeda no atakena motogata. Okay, thank
See what I
you.
mean about bubbly? Sikitia sana shakikia nana sakoa shonu ala kasea kaleseka no muna shakia kalesena namako kapatoko shona ni atapala seteke sono somo shola ila kita kila kamaro koyataiki somoko dosala ela mala keke somo sono toyashia kia tia kia mala seki sana se. When I hear you speak, I feel like I'm hearing all of the creatures on earth speak all at the same time. Like, Nikia sonosovi isha nakela kia masote. Like, it's like I hear every fairy and every, all those, all the, Nikai sanasate. It's like they're all talking at the same time and I can connect with that energy. But yet there's this outer stellar quality about it as well. It just makes me happy and bubbly. How about anybody else?
Nilihiki sushuku husua naya latia. Yes, same here. It's fun.
Yeah,
And is there anything you wanted to comment, Moon, at all about light languages in general and maybe your experience a little bit with it or how it helps you or maybe how you use it, for yourself or others?
No, I'm actually pretty pretty new with light language, and I'm here lately, I just started the toning and the I just started discovering how I could use it to heal myself and to maybe clear out negative energy or to clear energy, it's very interesting. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
That's important. That's a very important point. Thank you for bringing that up. That actually is one of the, I think one of the biggest, well, not biggest, but I think it's among the top, experiences for us with light languages. So I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you, Moon. And I love your languages.
Thank you.
Anyone else? You want to just raise your hand, or you want to just call on somebody? David.
Oh my goodness. Hi there.
Hi, David. Okay, so David's another one. We've been trying to hook up for, I don't know what, about 2 years now. And so David, if I'm not mistaken, you were not speaking light languages until pretty recently, correct?
It's so recent and amazing. I'm still in shock a little bit. Just joy.
Because when I heard you speaking light
all these
languages the other day in a hangout it was the first time I had heard you speaking, and I didn't know how long, I didn't even know you had begun speaking light languages, but I knew about a year or so ago that when we were gonna, trying to get together and there was a lot going on in your life and my life, my guides kept telling me, just hold on, just wait, because, and then you started speaking light languages. And then, so it's interesting how I was guided to just kind of wait. And then here we are today. So yeah, if you want to talk a little bit about your, how it's happened for you since it's been so recent.
Yeah, I just went to a practice group and it just happened. And then I had a session with Jesus, and he said he was amazed at the way that I'm able to speak it, like it comes out really naturally. And connected with Temple for a little bit, and we spoke a little bit, and I connect in the group, and there's this other girl that speaks something similar. I learned to use from Nefertiti when I was talking to her through one of the angel sessions, and other people said to guide your intention. So I started learning how to focus what you can do with it. You can use it for prayer for yourself, for healing for others, and just like you were saying earlier, for everything, just setting your intention and guiding. And then having even Jim, like he was having trouble sleeping. I did a blessing for him and he was able to sleep for a few days. And I'm just like really amazed and still kind of in this wonderful shock that I can do it, and I don't understand how, and I just keep doing it and just exploring, and I just want to keep connecting with everyone and just see what happens and speaking. So I will do the intention of saying thank you to everyone that's here and all the guides and the energy in this moment and the love and the light, and just send some healing and whatever creation along that alignment. And even I'm curious about Dolores. Somebody mentioned that it sounded similar to her, and I didn't notice right away. So if she's guided to respond, or Temple responding, or anybody, feel free to. Kuna hate shukua lewehetine utana he wosha sikikile no otua shua haseya shukuku. Tane mehitule hasha sikikuna hata wehi shukukule metia sukukua lele. Utane wehitua shikiki. Tume etia shukukua lehi hasama shukukua eti kele hetane uosa shua hato eti. Kuna ete eti shukukule mata wahasu no otua shikile mata otala hasu kukua shiwazi.
Ashu kuahatu suno ako shehe ki sana sa te eki shahona inga shina da goha mokusha e hani ki ina de seko ko ono make e tikira ki to a ana mako a ona no ku e ina ni ato ona ma ona na ki ite ki ina na mako atu te ita ki sana tada I. I was hearing it is an honor to speak with you in this way, and it is an honor to be present with you where you are seeing yourself in a way that you have never seen yourself before. Ni ana, where you are embracing your own multidimensionality in a way that you hadn't before. And and the confidence and the calm and that emits.
And yeah, it's been so wonderful, and just the energy and the third eye and just all these sensations and the responses that I hear from other people, that like feeling the energy and the things that are going on. Like I connected with someone who was having trouble speaking, and I set the intention to help her start speaking because she was speaking it earlier the day, and she's like, I can't speak it now for some reason. So I did it, and then she started speaking like, shoo, it just came out, and we got into a conversation. Like, I didn't know, I just felt like responding, and we got into this conversation. And Anna, Anna, right, from the light group,
Right.
was translating that it was about the emerald tablets and that we were doing activations in Egypt, and I'm just like blown away.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. All the pyramid and Egyptian energy in this room is very, very strong, of course, and Temple being here. I wanted to say hi to Ivy, Earth Star. Hey, doll. I'm so glad you got in. Hey, girl. And I wanted to read too that Rachel said in the internal chat here that was very activating around my heart area. Thank you, David. So I wanted to let the group, the YouTubers know, that we have an inside chat too, and that she was relating. And I wanted to let you know that too, David, if you didn't see that.
And David,
Yeah,
I wanted to tell you, actually, I was watching that Keepers of the Code, that light language practice group that was going on, that Anna and you and everybody were in. That was the first time I had ever tuned into it. I just happened to see it, happened to click on it while it was live, and it was with the emerald tablets and the activation. And it was incredible, the stuff that was being shared in that hangout. So the fact that I just happened to be there was really cool to be in that. And that is in the Keepers of the Code Facebook group that people
And you can read the tablets on YouTube. When I had a session with Jesus, he was saying to go and read those and just absorb it.
And what I wanted to add, I guess now that we're on the topic, and maybe Alicia might have something to say about this too, but from what I feel and understand, actually the emerald tablets were, I think they were like multi-dimensional floating. I mean, this isn't like a physical tablet on a slab of rock per se. Like these were.
Well, I know it's how, and actually Bashar talked about the emerald tablets many, many years ago, and he said that there's valuable information in there for us. So it's very interesting that would come up now, especially with the serious energy going on right now.
Yeah, it's just another one of those things that.
And each time you read it, the information evolves. It changes to a new level.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
And if you're not supposed to read it, you won't retain the information. Like,
got it. You have to be for it.
It'll just
Linda said, Linda, you got to go. Hey, I know she's got to go. So I want to let Linda at least say hi and goodbye, because I was so grateful that she came. So thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate it. Would you like to share a blessing and maybe just a couple words?
Can I be heard?
Yes, you are here.
Oh, okay. Well, I've enjoyed listening to all of this. It's wonderful. It's a new experience for me. And to be part of a group like this, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity. I will be here next Wednesday if I can, and keep up the good work. And the big thing that I can say here that's really caught me is the fact that we are all doing what we came here to do. It's like a pyramid. The pyramid starts out small and it continues to grow and grow and grow, and lifting and creating the higher energy levels for us here on earth is being one person at a time. For each person who awakens for themselves in light language, your light language helps that vibration and the vibration of love. And once it leaves our lips, it never dissipates. It never disappears. It continues to work in every nook and cranny of earth that it floats into with that energy. And we're all energy workers. So it's amazing, because when I first stepped out of my comfort zone and shared my light language, only one other person even knew what I was doing. And at that time, it was speaking in tongue. And the only thing that I can bring up here is I'd like to see, I don't know if it can be done, but I'm referring more and more and more to what we do as light language, soul language. There's one other acronym for it too. Light language, soul language, language of light, which you use an awful lot, Wendy, and I appreciate, I love that. For me, it's all, those are all AKAs for speaking.
I agree.
And I would be remiss if I didn't say that I would like to see us all get back to what its true form is. And by doing so and starting to use that terminology in our work and kind of embracing it, it had such an ugly connotation to
Right.
it. The religious factors that are involved.
I'm right here in Tennessee. So people
You're right in
still
Baggville.
don't, if you start talking about speaking in tongues, they're like, yeah, you can just back away right now.
Exactly.
You can just turn right around.
Yes. But I would like to see us to give it its true identity. And I think that all this time that I've been working with it and using it, I've never been pushed like I have been over the last 2 weeks, saying
Me too.
it's time that it is
It's weird.
recognized, because it's source language. And this language, no matter whether you're having these conversations like you're having now, which is not a way I've ever used it. This is the first time I've seen people have conversations with it, as you guys have exposed me to here today. So I think that the more and more we start leaning towards that and letting people know that what they're doing, they have a direct connection to source. This is source. This is, and for those who don't share it, and that's another thing they need to know, they don't always have to share it, because just saying it for themselves, the prayers for themselves, sometimes it's just that direct connection from your soul to soul source. And oftentimes our mind doesn't understand what it is soul needs at the moment. And by using the light language is speaking for the soul. And the soul is created and caused by all the consciousness that we have within. Consciousness within has already lived so many lifetimes, and are living lifetimes right now, if we believe that this is all going on concurrently. What we call past, what we call future, is all happening concurrently. It is what it is, and everything that we do with our light language helps. And I'd like to see us start leaning back towards that, just to clear it up and know that everybody thinks it's absolutely lovely, and everybody thinks it's such a gift, and it is such an ability, but they do that with the quote unquote words, light language, language of light, and soul language, which is a more modern way. I don't know who came up with this idea to label it that way, but it worked because people are not afraid of it.
And maybe that was the purpose all along, is we had to consciously create a collective way that we could accept it. And I honestly, when I woke up one day and just heard the light languages, I never knew I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know there was a thing as light language or speaking in. Years ago, I heard my girlfriend telling me she went to church one day and they were speaking in tongues. That was the only time I had ever heard that term. So when I started speaking them, that's how I started to have to look things up, because I couldn't find anything about it. So,
Right.
And you've been actually speaking for a very long time, haven't you, Linda?
Since I was 12. It happened to me when I was 12. Yeah.
So
But I didn't use it. I used it personally for myself because I knew it came from the Holy Ghost and I knew that it was good. So,
And I'm glad that you said that. I wanted to just touch really quickly on that you said that about it doesn't have to be shared to make a difference. And that is what I want to reiterate with you guys. And she's absolutely right. And everything you said was perfectly said. In that what you do individually makes a difference, even if you're saying it to yourself. When you walk out into the world and go to your job or the grocery store, I've said this many times in my videos, when you're speaking it even on your own, you change the reality you're in and you change the versions of the people you're dealing with, and the way you deal with people in your day-to-day life changes.
Yeah.
yes.
And you
And even-
emit an aura of love that people go, I love you, and I don't know why I want to be around you.
Mhm. Try walking through the grocery store, just speaking your light language.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
we don't even have to speak it. We can actually just think,
Hear-
allow
right.
the energy to come into our mind and like hear it. And that is so cleansing for me. Yeah, so thank you for saying all this. It's
That was awesome, Linda. Thank you so much for being here today. And I do want to encourage everybody, light language. You can find Linda Lee on Facebook, Light Language, but she does great, live stuff and just, so yeah, anybody who wants to, put their links around, but because I want to embrace everybody and every one of us of what we do, and whoever you resonate with is where you need to go.
Right. And the thing is the group called Light Language by Linda Lee. And I created that group for the purpose of everybody sharing their light language. And a couple of you here have shared your light language and continue to do so. Continue to share and allow me to share it out from there and allow other people to share it out from there. And that's how people are born. It's just like this gentleman, David, speaking here for us now. It's just like, suddenly, he hadn't, and now he is. And he was activated somewhere along the line by somebody or somehow, some way.
And that's how it happened for me, you guys. I'm telling you guys, one day I didn't speak them, and the next day I did. I mean, It wasn't even the next day. She just said, would you like to start speaking, Wendy? You've been in these gatherings for a while. Is there anything that you'd like to say? And I closed my eyes and said, okay, guys, I'm on the spot here. If anybody has anything to say, now's the time. And it just came flooding out. And I have been a magpie ever since.
And a beautiful one too, I might add. And Dolores,
Well, thank you so much.
I love absolutely so much what Dolores does with her. She's such a beautiful person. Her soul is so loving.
I know.
Her artwork, she sent me a piece of something on
Oh my God, her art, you guys, Dolores's artwork is literally out of this world.
Oh, she puts it together with her light language and her own music.
Oh.
I mean, it can't get any more beautiful than that. So
I
Dolores,
know. I get so envious of all you guys. I'm like, look what she's doing. Look what she's doing. And Bree's like, but look what you're doing. So it's like just.
Yeah. So you go back to what your words were earlier. And that is, don't envy the other person, embrace the other person for that which they have to share with you, because that's what it's all about. And that's what it's all about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was so beautifully said. I love your heart so much. Thank you so much for recognizing my heart too, and to be so gracious to allow me to share my light languages on your channel and on your page. And she's allowed me to also post this this hangout on her site every week. So just so you know that, Bree, too. So thank you so much, Linda. Thank you for participating, and we would love to have you anytime you can come.
Well, make sure you send me a link next week because I'm a little scatterbrained. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for sharing. See you again.
Thank you.
I don't know how to get out. Oh, there it is. I hang up. Okay. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys. That's what this is all about. I love that so much. My heart feels all happy.
It's awesome. I'm glad she came.
And I know. I know Temple wants to talk.
Yes.
Rachel, but I wanted to check with Rachel because I know, are you okay, Rachel, for time? I know it's getting kind of late too. I just wanted to, okay, good. I just want to make sure because I know she's out in the UK and people are across the world. So, and I know it's really late. So Dolores, bless her heart. My gosh, she's in Croatia. It's probably the middle of the night. Or getting late anyway, but okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, Temple, if you wanted to share about light languages, I know we like to do cards, but I think I'm going to keep that this is not the forum for that. So, we'll stay tuned, everybody, because we also do oracle readings, light language linguist lounges, where we do that kind of stuff. But I really want to keep this about light languages. So, not to say that light language doesn't come through the oracle cards, but the intention for this is really solely around light language. So, with that said, go for it, woman.
So while you were talking,
Hi, Don. Sorry.
well, I'm gonna. Oh, Don got in. Okay, I was gonna leave so Don could go in. But anyway, while you're talking, I drew this for you. So.
Oh my God, that is so beautiful.
I drew this before you said Syrian, but there's your little Syrian.
Oh my God! And you guys, yesterday I was guided to. I posted this already on my blog and on Facebook, but last night I was guided to, and you know what, you guys, that's the first time I ever made an alien face. Would you believe it?
Yeah.
Like ever. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I've just never done that. I was just like,
put it closer to the camera.
Oh, sure.
The bottom one.
I'll try to sit still because I can't see it all at once.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll just try to.
Cool.
And they said to me, etheric expressions of energy beings. So there you go. Galactic light languages, signs and symbols from our galactic families. That is beautiful. And I love the contrast of the, it's so Egyptian of you too, to do the gold on the black.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, it's got and you guys, that's another thing. That has its own energy. Because she put it gold on black, it has its own vibration. It has its own energy. It has its own frequency for those of you whom it's supposed to reach and touch and activate for whatever reason. That's why she's guided to draw it and share it. That's why we're all guided to draw, share, speak, tone, sing, speak, whatever, hand sign. The hand symbols and things came to me, I can't remember when, if it was right away. Makisha, Jim Charles was channeling to her. She's a Lyran being. And she said one day in a hangout many years ago, she said, when Jim is channeling me, watch his hands. Now I picked up on that right away. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And so I watched his hand, and it was within, I think, a couple of days, you guys, I started signing. Now, do I know what I'm saying always? No. But I feel like someone's listen, like watching. Like I'm speaking to someone, so that they can understand. And as all of us are galactic ambassadors, each and every one of you and all of us that are speaking light languages literally are connecting and transmitting information to and from. We're talking to our families, our star families. And many of them are only telepathic. Some of them don't even have voices. They don't have voice boxes. They aren't bodies like ours. Some of them are non-physical. So some of them are telepathic only, and some of them only read and sign. But what they're really telling me too sometimes is when we're doing the signs, we're literally changing the frequency structure of the colors. And Ivy does stained glass work, amazing Earth Star here. You guys can see her avatar. She does the most beautiful stained glass artwork. And that's what they're showing me, is that we change what we look like, and then we can connect with different beings at different times. So that frequency that Alicia shared, that's like a message that color, the way how like one day I'll pick up a black pen, one day it's a really thick one, and they want me to do really strong, like strong, thick lines. And then some days it's very subtle and soft, like these for some reason. Love these. And look, it just happens to equal 11 on the day I did them. There's just something very strong feeling to me about these symbols. And so thank you, Alicia, for sharing that. So, when did you start speaking light languages, and maybe briefly tell everybody how you use them?
I spoke them when I was little, but I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just like a childhood thing. And then I stopped and I started speaking 4 years ago again. And so a lot of times I use them for healing or for expressing thoughts in that I can't express with a limited English dictionary. And so it's better often expressed in light language because it's everything's unlimited. So, and then also for healing and energy work and just all sorts of stuff. I mean, even just blessing food, blessing water.
Exactly.
Like it's all good.
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nia kosa te shi intaya no kua shuno to akua ni tarakisa no to yemba kashuno uha mo ku unsho shua akia ni site. And again, you know, Alicia's another person that I met, you know, through these gatherings, and, you know, and through light languages and stuff. And Niato, and immediately, as often happens to me when I meet various people, and that happens to me with private sessions, like where I started doing pre-recorded stuff where I just kind of tap into your energy and do symbols and light language activations. But I start to see visions of like my connections to people. And so when one of the things that light language happens with me is I start to, when I'm speaking and like when she and I are talking, or like Bree and I, or Dolores and I, whatever, David, it's like we start to see, it's almost like I start to see the timeline unraveling before me, like of different lives that we've had together. And I start to see visions of what we look like in different realities, if that makes any sense. And so I felt immediately when I met Alicia, that very strong Egyptian pyramid, and of course being temple beautiful and all that too, that lends, you know, to that energy. But so anyway, yeah, it is interesting, as Bree was mentioning too, that a lot of us are noticing when we're posting stuff on social media now, many of us are drawing very similar symbols or the same symbols, or we're just like, oh my God, your symbols like speak to me, or they look a lot like, there's a Gal V that she posts a lot, and she always says to me, she's like, when I look at your stuff, it's like looking at my own, you know what I mean? So people start to, it kind of feels familiar for some reason, you know? So, who would like to go next? I know we
Is
talked
it
about
okay
actually.
if I do a blessing before I leave?
Absolutely, please do. It's all about that.
Nishataya so uno huabashiatataka. Mulu bodiataka iuno sutiata lasha. Nayataya huapo unu. Maya satiataka anahanaliata. Yapu utu sutiana a. Ka unko ane te ka anesi. Male uko onotiata piasha. Mahana naliana siata. Anatiata naha. Namaste.
Niatoshe, niatore, enkayanata itorea, namaste, kodeo komakiata. Sena. Do you get any indication or like feel anything like what was coming through?
No, because it was too short. Like
I get that.
I mean, other than like, you know, I was already really warm because it's really warm in the house today, so I can't really tell if I was like heating up, but I'm sure it could have gone on and on and on, and then I would have gotten something, but I think
and I want to say, Rachel said again that her heart again, the heart chakra again. Thank you, Alicia. And that's, I think it's interesting because, as I've mentioned in many of my videos, I always ask my guides, what color should I wear today? And at first it was about green. It was about the heart chakra. And then it was about blue and the throat chakra. So it was kind of interesting today. But for today, for me, when I first started thinking about the connect, that's the first thing I heard was my guide said today you will all connect with your hearts the way you have never before. And so it's interesting that several of the messages that have come through today that Rachel has said that they affected her heart And so very interesting that was exactly the message that I got today was all of you will be connecting with your hearts in a way you never have before. And it will like change the capability from here forward of how you connect with your hearts and the hearts of others. And so I found that very interesting, and I wanted to share that because I completely forgot about it too. And Dolores said the same thing.
I was just told like last week that when I send out healing, I should now work it through, instead of like, obviously like through your hands, healing is good through your hands and everything too, but really try and work it through your heart and your third eye. And so I just thought that was very interesting that
very. And Nova Cynthia says too, she can recognize when others are speaking a light language she speaks. And the same thing with me. Like I just recognize it now, you know, and we're all beginning to do that. And as we begin to recognize it, I think it actually adds to our linguist repertoire. I think that every time we recognize one, it's almost like I'll hear it and then I can usually pick it up. You know what I mean? It's like, it's interesting how it kind of works that way. So I found that an interesting succession with being activated by different people and listening to different people. And that doesn't mean you're going to resonate with all of them. There are some people where I just don't. And I don't know why. And I'm sure it's the same with me. I'm sure people will tune in and go, yeah, I just don't resonate with that, you know, and that's fine. That's why we're all doing this. And we all have to do our own unique, you know, thing. So, but, I didn't get to say goodbye. Bye, Temple. Bye, Alicia. Thank you for coming. She had to go, but so I just wanted, and and I wanted to say too that Don, if he would be so kind, Don is another one who, to the best of my knowledge, wasn't speaking light languages and like all of a sudden was.
Hello.
Hi, Don. Thank you for coming.
Oh, I totally forgot about this, unfortunately. What time did you start?
Well, it was supposed to be at 1:11 p.m. Central, but it was a few minutes after that.
The room was full for a while until you got in. So
and Ava too. You know what too? Ava has to head up and she wants to share a little bit. Do you have let me skip over. Don, do you have a minute? Okay,
I do have a minute.
I don't want to be rude. I just want to come back to you. Okay, Go ahead, Eva, because I've been wanting to say hi and connect with her. She and I have been connecting through email, and this is the first time we've actually had to actually say hello and actually connect face to face. And we've been trying to hang out together for a while too. So now you see why I'm doing this. So yes, please say hi. Thank you.
Hope you can hear me.
I can hear you. Hi, Eva.
Hi. Sorry, I am so tuned in always that I typically just sit there with my eyes closed, do my light language as is being shared and toning. So that's kind of what I do. And let's see what I'm needing to share in quotation marks. My entire being is lit up, and thank you, Wendy, for inviting me. I've sort of been tasked with creating a global online community, and so I've been guided to different individuals to connect with for that, and so Wendy came across in that way. Yeah. And what I was going to say about light languages, for me, it's all about remembering with our higher other aspects, multidimensional aspects when we do that. And what I love also, and I feel it's so true, is as we each speak, it is something that is helping the other to remember those aspects of themselves or lifetimes or affinities to those planets or connections or collectives. So I think just sharing like this is just really profound on so many levels. Let's see, something else I was going to say. Well, maybe I'll just share a little bit of light language, whatever it is that might.
Please, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
David just said he got goosebumps, by the way, Ava.
Well, that's something else I wanted to say. yeah, David, Oof, goosebumps as well, with so many of you. And I was going to say right now, it is such an interesting time on the planet. Who you are meeting with right now, and I know there's several that I have really close soul connections with that are really important. So pay attention who you're connecting with now and who you have an affinity with, and go there as you're guided and pursue it. It's really important to now connect with our close soul family, whatever your model is, 144, let's say, but it doesn't matter, you know. So that was something really important to mention for all of us. And the other thing is, I might resurrect this at some point. We used to do these divine council calls where we would all get together on Zoom and we would basically co-create the journey meditation. There were a few of us who would sort of start out and set the container. And then as we're each guided, we share whatever it is, whether it's light language, some music, some activation that's coming in, toning, it doesn't matter. And I still remember when I got on my first call and when two other people were sort of holding the space for that. And I used to be a professor, so I'm used to talk to many people. But when I got the first impulse, oh my God, I'm supposed to say something, I got so nervous about it. And, you know, I had to. I mean, that's what I'm here to now, follow spirit. So I do remember that, you know, feeling. And it's so important to go ahead and honor that, because then more comes through. You know, more comes through. So it's really beautiful. All right. Atea masana tea shatanae. Ushama nahi atasha ta weteasha. Hasana mate. Usa ashea tanae. Usa tanate. Ushaya nata. Osamate. Asa. Ushana teata. Ase mata. Usatanate ata sa asheata ate mana usata uate anyashatanate ata usayata matayata usa.
Nishini akalia sanatea kasana pala koshana se. Shamana yamali itaki sana sabela shete kilana zijuno balako. Pekalai Ileana ilakolamba gola kokora patere kesana sete. Adama ila ki Eva kila kopono no kuapakokora koshanteki. Sepotore ke la mala kora. Le shenitiana mala kotapala kosana sete sheatiakia. Nemana diabalakote. Pleshono no akalakotere selekia namalakose. Plitarakinda kimbarosha. Paima leindara koro maya nananake. E shetiki ananasa tate yandara balokotere korokote sai. Inabaki tambato she sanate. Meki anate.
Thank you for that. What a beautiful remembrance, dear sister.
I was just going to say that it felt like they were saying to me, it is a divine to be in, it is an honor to be in your presence again. Say no, it's okay. That's exactly how I was feeling. So thank you for that validation.
Yeah, I look forward to connecting more with you in particular, and those of you who are drawn. There are several of you, so thank you.
And yeah, and keep an eye out too. I'll be having Ava on more often on my channel, and she's got a lot of amazing things to share with the world, and lots of great things she's doing too. So I'm really excited to begin this journey too. So I'm so happy that you came today. Thank you. Nyatoshe, and thank you for sharing your languages. That was beautiful. Oh, wow.
Creation. I mean, still doing our individual work, and where we are drawn to come together, because the energies, when they are in resonance, are amplified 100, 1,000, and more fold. The more we elevate, the more it's 100,000, a million, and that is truly only how we can shift this planet. And I know that is why we came, why you came. That is why we came.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Rachel said, wow, lots of energy around my chest and teeth were buzzing. I love that. Okay. Hey, Bree, can you read Don's comment for me, please?
Yeah, sure. Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you.
That was amazing. My heart is just still.
Yeah, so soft, really. Wow. I'm looking forward to going back and listening to all these again. Don commented, I had a block and could not speak for the longest while. He means light language, like a dam holding back a flood. This is what Nefertiti said to me in a channeling session. Anna Nunes gave me a 1-minute verbal exercise that took me 2 weeks to spell out phonetically. Here is what I learned to say. It opened me up big time.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah,
I was going to say, do you want to read it, Don? Do you want to say it out loud?
That'd be lovely. Yeah.
Sure, I'll read it aloud.
Because that way we can hear it, and because each person has their own, you know what I mean, vibration when they speak the words. So yeah, please do, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'll post it too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Bree.
Hashiara E. Ushun tu idia tinka huru shakuru tu idia inta huru a tara u shuru takara a tankara takiri shura takura ontura shara takiri ho antaka inka antukara inkara shakurda. This is bouncing all around. Okay, antukara inkara chakura hu iledi oro, and to pray. This was the key. Shantakara o Shantakara a. Antara takuru takuro takura hanta shari takara a.
I don't believe the synchronicity, what you just said, because I have in my journals several pages where I have written Takora, Taka Takora, Ata Taka Takora, Taka Takora. I have written that word over and over and over again in my journals.
Well,
I can't even explain what just happened to me.
Yeah. Well, it's
that's really weird.
And this is again from Anna Nunes, because I was totally blocked. I couldn't get a word out. And it was because,
and they told me at the time that was a Lyran. They said to me, it was Lyran energy and a Lyran being that was helping me through my journey. And they said, I am Ata Taka Takura, and I am here to assist you. That is really weird. That's strange. And being that I was speaking last night to the Lyran Syrian Council, this is really very, very synchronistic. I'm not sure what's going on here, but these are the kind of things that I like to share about, because Can I explain it? Not necessarily, no.
Well,
But
I
it
don't,
happened.
I don't understand it really, but it's because the blockage happened because I speak all light languages.
Yes.
I'm of the angelic realm.
And that's exactly what they told me too, is that you speak them all. You speak all languages. But I have to say, you guys, I'm starting to wonder, don't we all? And are they just lying dormant within us, waiting to be illuminated and awakened? Is that what's happening here? Because I really feel like each and every one of us has that capacity, that capability, that ability. Because capacity is capacity and ability to be able to open to all of that. So very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Don, for sharing that. Whew.
Don,
was
could you
just-
do me a favor and post that into the YouTube live chat or in the comments of this video? Because as I'm trying to copy it from the
Oh,
room, it's making it all go together. And
it's
not
just
gonna
like,
help
yeah, it's
anybody.
kind of convoluted.
So
Okay.
if you could post that, please.
And you just started speaking recently too, didn't you, Don? Not too long
Yes.
ago.
Yes,
I
about
mean, okay.
I guess roughly a month ago.
Oh wow! So just about a month ago. Okay,
And,
and that was that from you being in the group with the other
Yes.
people speaking them?
And-
Did you feel that was?
Well, that was helping. Plus saying this prayer did unlock me. And like I say, like a dam holding back water. I could not even a peep, not a word. Most of my stuff is just telepathic, and that's what I do in the mainstream. It's just a relay of information.
And that's a powerful point to make, Don, because again, I wanted to reiterate what we were talking about earlier, that as long as you think it, even if you're thinking it telepathically, it changes the molecular structure. It has an alchemization happens that we just are not even beginning to understand. And then my guides have been showing me this, that every time you guys speak it, or even if you just think it, how it literally changes the way we process thoughts, the things that we believe about ourselves, the things that we believe, it washes away the negative belief systems that we are wanting to release in order to become more full beings, not just humans, but more full multidimensional beings. And I see we're getting at the top of the hour here, and I wanted to make sure too that Rachel too, that everyone gets to share. So I wanted to see if Rachel, thank you so much for all your feedback and your responses to everybody else's light languages. And I wanted to see if you were interested in speaking for a moment. Did you wish to offer a blessing or maybe some words about light languages in general?
Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Yeah, it's 9:10 in the evening here for me. So yeah, that's my day nearly ended. It's been wonderful to be able to connect with everybody. Yeah, I can feel the energies are so powerful, and that's what I absolutely love. I love all this. I love connecting on very, very deep levels with everybody, and I love sharing my light languages now, or my speaking in tongues. One of my cousin's friends calls it Earth Song, which is really nice. But
I like that.
I think it goes further than Earth, though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, but I like that.
Yeah. I mean, something I've been, because I work with the diamond light, and I've been doing that a long, long time. And my friend and my teacher, one of the things she says is that, and I always get it muddled up, so I have to think, is that sound makes light audible, and then the light codes make sound visible.
I love that. I love that. And I've said it, but I never said it that way. I like that.
I always have to think because I get a bit muddled with that. So yeah, I was activated almost 2 years ago, and I'd been listening to Judy Satori, but when I say that, I do believe I did it as a child, and I would always doodle as well. And I've started recently doing just artwork, just seeing what comes up and just allowing it to flow. And I love it so much because I don't know what's going to happen. And I think the really good thing about speaking, sounds that you don't know how they're going to come out of your mouth, you know, I think that has taken the sort of trusting to a whole other level, you know, because when I first was activated, I mean, I actually thought my head was going to blow off the first time they came in. My whole body was like, and I'm like, no, enough now. And I've had many times where I've been lying in bed and my partner, like if he touches my foot, sometimes it's like a circuit is created. And then I'll say to him, my mouth wants to move. And then just suddenly my mouth goes, it's like he's grounding me as I bring in all these like codes and just sometimes the sounds I've never made before. And it's incredible, absolutely incredible. But it's interesting because I mean, when I first connected with you, Wendy, was after watching you being in nature. And you did a video and you were down by the lake and one thing like that, and that just felt so home to me, because one of the things I would do is, you know, I didn't want to share it with people out loud because I didn't understand it myself, what was actually happening. Even though I'd heard other people speaking, you know, again, you compare yourself and it's like, well, what is it I'm saying? I mean, and some people who came to my group, which I usually have on a Wednesday evening, stopped coming because I was introducing light languages into my journey and work, you know, but to me it's so powerful and activating. But because they're not sure what I'm saying and they won't come back till they know what it is I'm saying. But to me, there's no need to know what I'm saying. I get a sense sometimes, but I don't need to translate it. It's like, how can you literally translate a package of information that's going into your whole being? And you know, why would you want to translate that? You could be all day, couldn't you? You know? And all year.
Yes, I've said that many times, that it feels like there's volumes and volumes of information just in one sound. It's like, how can I can translate the feeling or the general message, but all the layers, I can't. And like you said, why would you want to? Because this is how we're supposed to be experiencing it in a new way.
Well, the funny thing was, recently I was like comparing myself, you know, and I say recently, it's a few months ago, and I was given the analogy of a postman, and I was told that you deliver the codes, you deliver the packages. The postman doesn't stand around and wait while the recipient opens the parcel and empties the contents, and then the postman doesn't tell the recipient what to do with the contents of the parcel. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, you deliver the...
That is so good. That's a very good I mean, that really is, you guys, because that's how it is.
Yeah.
And when we're delivering the message too, we feel this responsibility, but it's like, no, once you deliver the message, it's up to the recipient to decide what to do with it. Exactly.
Yeah. See, to me, the important thing is, and this is like the work with the diamond light and the octahedron, the sacred octahedron, is about being a clear conduit. To me, that's the most important thing. And I was shown, like, you know, this analogy of two straws, and I'm actually going to be using it in my teachings that are coming up. It's like, you are a conduit, you know, nothing else. You're a conduit. You don't need to think about anything else. You don't make, you know, like I say, you're delivering a package, full stop. But I was shown very clearly, I get a lot of metaphors, but shown really clearly, two straws. One straw that's nice and clean and everything like that, out of the packet, and the other straw's been kicked about on the floor. It's got dog hair on it and it's got a bit of yuck on it and all that, you know, and it won't draw the fluid up very well. You know what kind of straw I mean. And the thought came, what kind of straw do you want to be? So to me, that's the most important thing to me. Whatever I'm delivering is from my heart, and I'm being as clear a conduit as I possibly can, as a, you know, integral as I possibly can. And to me, that's all that matters. I don't need to interpret what it is I'm saying. I just need to be the vessel that the information's coming through in the best way that I possibly can. And that's my responsibility. The responsibility of how people receive that package and what they do with the content is not my responsibility, as long as I'm the conduit. Do you know what I mean?
That was really
So-
very, very well said. And it's interesting how many people do send me clips and say, you know, can you translate this? Or somebody interpreted what I said this way. What do you think about it? And I have to say, I thank you for saying that, because I want to say to them without hurting their feelings, like you said, I don't need to know. And I get it though, because one of the most interesting things for us when we started speaking light languages was our friend Jim Charles, who he literally translates, or I should say interprets, what he feels we're saying. There was nothing more exciting to us, those of us who started speaking light languages and had no idea what we were saying, to validate and then to hear him give his impression of what we just said. It gave us this power of like what you just said, that just hearing what he said with the translation made me understand I don't need to translate it. Because the information was so wonderful and pure and loving. And then it made me, although it opened up my channeling to be able to receive more English translations, if you will, like actual channeling the messages of the information that's coming through. But it's different. There are, like you said, there's times when the languages themselves, they're not supposed to be de-encrypted.
But that's us giving our power away if somebody else is translating it, because that's through their own filters. That's not necessarily what we're bringing forward. That's their interpretation. But if we then give them the power to interpret what we're bringing, that takes a lot away from who we are. But we all do it. It's all part of the
exactly, because we
programming,
want that confirmation, that validation, just like you said earlier. It's like and there's people out there who are afraid of, you know, well, how do you know what you're saying? And or somebody will say to me, somebody heard my light language and they said to me that I was like attacking them. Well, if that's not your intention, that's their interpretation, not your intention.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that?
Oh yeah, please. Because this is important stuff.
Yeah, it's super important, because this is again new.
And again, we can't fit it all into 1 week. That's why, but I just, this is why this is so multi-layered, but go ahead, Bree.
So we'll have weekly events, yay! But I had the same experience where I spoke light language to a room of people. I was actually at one of the Stargate experience retreats. Another story for another time. And I spoke light language, and this one lady took the microphone and she said, I feel like I was being choked by what you were saying. And the first thing that came through, not just my mouth, but then somebody else's, was, well, perhaps that energy that was coming through the light language was actually helping you to release a blockage, an energetic blockage of your meridians, of your chakras, of your energetic system. And it was an uncomfortable experience when that energy was
I agree with that.
And the sensation, the symptom.
And because if they can't explain, and if they can't explain the emotion or the experience that they just had, sometimes it, just like all of us, right, guys? Don't growing pains feel awfully uncomfortable while we're going through them?
Or like,
and then afterwards, you're like, thank God I went through that.
Yeah, it's getting it out. So I just wanted to mention.
No, that's a great point. That's a very good point, though. And that Rachel started that conversation about that, because that's a very good point. And this is why a lot of people hesitate putting their light languages out in the world, because they're so afraid how someone is going to receive it. How are they going to interpret what I just said? And then what are they going to say about that? And this is what especially for those of us who are doing this out in the world like this publicly, we put ourselves out there to be vulnerable to that and say, I know what's in my heart. I know what I'm expressing. And I think that I can say wholeheartedly, each and every one of you, I don't think, I've never received anything negative or felt anything negative from my light languages or any of your light languages. And I'd like to believe that everybody felt that way about me too, because people, when they find me, they say, I feel your heart. I feel the genuine love that is coming through this. And I don't need to know what you're saying to know what you're saying to me is something my soul needs to hear. And so thank you for that,
Yeah.
Rachel, that was really
Well, I
important.
think the
Thank
thing
you.
is, there's a lot of people. I mean, this is what one of the things I've noticed. There's a lot of people who work in the energetic community, if you like, the consciousness community, who will say, you know, I work with energies, I do this, that, and the other, and they haven't got the first clue about what it means to work with energy. They don't understand energy, frequency, vibration, and we're all getting there. You know, I'm not putting anybody down with that, but I'm just saying that, of course, then when there's something that's working with energy, vibration, and frequency on a level they're not quite understanding, then that sort of there's that, you know, not a fear, but you know what I mean, they're uncomfortable with it, and they don't know. I suppose they can feel it on some higher level that it's actually going to change them, and sometimes you're in resistance of wanting to move forward, aren't we? You know, that can happen as well. So, you know.
No, very, very, very important points and messages. Very, very important. I really appreciate that. And this is why I wanted to have these conversations, because these are the kinds of things that only get sparked up when we're having a conversation. Like I can sit and write down all the topics I want to cover in a day, but you know what, that it just doesn't, it never works for me that way. That's why I quit taking notes, because it never happens that way. So this is how this stuff comes out. And so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Welcome. Shall I do a bit of a blessing and then I
yes, please, please do. Yeah, please
Okay.
do and because we are getting right, and I wanted to make sure I got a chance to say hi to Ivy, and if there's any last messages, so that we keep it going, so that we keep it cool for next week, and so.
Okay. Mahinea shog ya te ana hawea te ana hike shina ma e la ne akatushina. Ya na ya tu shagi and ya pula ama to ishina ya. Agahane la ni shuya ge eni amatu it e. Awe shini atatli ani ushak te ishnuete ema o te la ana it e. Agahane la nuti shagi ana it e. Amoto la hia ke shenana ia te uchite e ma ka tuishna. Iana hia ni wea ka mahu te e shina e te ema a. Ala hana ut oia sha ni I ut e hama hui ka shine et e. Ona ia ni e. Mayani ya tu ia le e te e kana amata e te shina. Ni hia te ala ha u te ama a koiana e. Ni ana hia na hatu e ke shina. Thank you.
I saw a great many beings, a lot of different realms were coming through there, and I was getting visions of different ones, and different beings. And I was hearing sort of like don't be afraid of your multidimensionality, because you are all so much more than you have ever imagined yourselves to be. And you're only just beginning to see that which you truly are. That was a beautiful, beautiful message. But see, this is my impression, and this is what I want to say to you guys. That was just my feeling of what I was getting. So what about all of you? I mean, rhetorically speaking, or what are you guys receiving out of these messages? And that message that she just put out was so multidimensional that each and every one of us heard the layer we needed to hear. And the message could be very different for each one of us, depending on what each of us are going through in that moment. Whatever we're working through in that moment, there was layers of each, like the symphony, there's layers of each of that piece of that puzzle that reached each of us in a different way, and was helping us with something unique for each and every one of us. That is just the beginning of how powerful this stuff is. So, wow, I feel so amazing, you guys, today. I really do. the energy that has flowed through here today, the information, the sharing, and this is exactly what I wanted to do is on a more regular basis. And we'll do it weekly if it works out great. If it doesn't, we'll spread it out, but whatever. I just wanted to really commit to having this time together. Ivy, oh my God, girl. She and I can really hang out. She's another one that I met, and we were introduced by a mutual friend, and it was kind of like Wendy meet Ivy, Ivy meet Wendy, and that was it. It was like we were off on a several hour tangent. So I had to say hello. Thank you so much for coming in. Her internet is always a little weird, so I'm happy that you were able to be here the whole time.
I know. I can't believe it worked.
So is there anything you'd like to share with us about your own light languages, your own experiences? And then after that, we'll close it out with a couple blessings and close for next week. So.
Well, it seems like my light language experience is a little different than other people's. Leave it to me to be different. It's like they're talking to me, and I don't understand them, but I guess I'm taking it in through some level, and then it happens sometimes when I'm driving. I have long distance driving, and I guess I get into that spacey meditative state where it can just bubble out. And it usually happens if I'm like going around a curve. It's like maybe they're riding beside me and going, oh yeah, this is fun. Look at that bird. I don't know. It'll just kind of go, and I'm like, oh, and as soon as I realize that, the moment's broken. But other than that, it's just when I wake up, and it's gone through so many phases, for a while it was this weird choppy stuff, and it sounded like I was arguing with Klingons. And so whatever's going on, it's still real, interior growth oriented, and we'll figure it out as time goes by.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Would you like to share a little bit of your light language? Are you ready to do that, or no? Okay. Hey,
no, not yet.
That's okay.
Not yet.
And that's what this is about. See, you guys, now she and I've spoken languages together and stuff, but if you're not ready to do it out there, then you're not. And this is where we have to, each and every one of us, honor where you are and when you are and how you are.
Because I don't feel like it comes through me yet. I feel like it's more with me instead of something that comes through and out. Does that make sense?
Well, did you think that there's really a difference though? Could it be that you're
you have to open your mouth to do it.
Like, are we judging how, like, you know what I mean? Like, do we have this expectation that that it's supposed to be a certain way, and if it doesn't feel a certain way, then it isn't a certain way? Does that make sense?
I don't know. It feels different, with my artwork. I feel the channeling of energy going, in certain directions when I'm doing that versus when I'm in a crowd of people. It's like all going, but when I do my artwork, I can pull it up and have it come up and out.
I kind of feel like in your artwork,
that way.
When you're doing your glass work, I kind of feel when I look at it, and then maybe it's because I already know you speak light languages. I feel like when I look at your art, when I look at your glass, I feel like I'm hearing light languages. Like your light languages.
I feel like that's where I'm conveying it.
Yes, I feel like it's in your glass work. Yeah. And when I look at it, I feel like I'm receiving your light language. So this is something I wanted you guys to hear.
That's what I feel.
Because that's exactly, so by her creating her glass, she creates stained glass art. So and all of you in the comments, wherever I post this, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, if you guys want to put your links to where you are and who you are so people know who you are, please do that. That's what this is all about. I'm not going to take responsibility for getting all you guys' links and posting them, but please feel free to do so. So I just want to throw that out there. But I feel that way. Like when I bought Miguel's work here, Miguel is Mendoza is a mutual friend of ours, and I bought his glass work, and I feel that way about his stuff too. Like it's sitting here with me, but I feel like there's a part of him is here with me, that his energy and who he is and the love that he put in there. And that's how I feel about your light languages. Like all of us, when we create stuff, are channeling. we're channeling us and putting us into what we're
my
doing.
glass
I guess
is not
that's
me. Yeah, I feel it pouring through me. I just open up and go, okay, do what you want. And then when I'm done, I'm like, oh, wow.
oh,
And
what a
that,
really,
I guess my
what
light
a really
language is visual.
And this is what I want to, that's why I wanted to say this, because everybody is different. And maybe Ivy's light language is about putting her light language into her glasswork. And then when anybody buys her glasswork, they're receiving her light codes the way she's supposed to transmit them. So that's, in a nutshell, really why I wanted to really begin these explorations and talk more about this and share. So I encourage all of you who want to come and hang out, bring questions, where, I'm hoping to answer people's questions that are in the comments, bringing through any information that might come through from any of us through our light languages and information and channeled guidance. It's about all of that. And I don't think that even now here you guys, it's 333. So at my time. So I just wanted to say 333, here we are. Today's date equals 14, which is connecting, but the date being is 11 and 3. So here we are, the master vibration numbers, and it's 333. Now I haven't looked at the clock, but now I see they're saying, hey, go look at the clock. It's 333. So that's what this is, like a confirmation for all of us today. That was so good, Ivy. I'm glad that we had that conversation too, because as Rachel said earlier too, even if you're sending it out telepathically, even if you're putting it into things telepathically, into the ethers telepathically, we talk about talking to our plants. Well, I talk light languages to my plants. I talk light languages with my dog. I send him healing. He had a bellyache the other day. So I sat and was giving him like Reiki and light languages on his tummy, and this is the kind of stuff that I wanted to talk about. So I know, of course, we didn't do our private time, but I felt today like this was really good. And the reason why I decided to add the private time at the end is because so many of you and us, sometimes we don't want to share on the air. We're too shy. We don't want to. And sometimes in the after party where we're all off the air is a lot of times when the magic happens. It's when people start speaking light languages and they weren't expecting to, because there's that, the resistance is off, the scariness is off. So Brandy, I just realized too, I haven't had a chance. Thank you, Bree. I haven't had a chance to say hi to Brandy either. So I really wanted to give everybody the opportunity to chat and say hi. And so, hi, Brandy. Thank you so much. Would you like to say something?
Hello. I don't necessarily speak light languages as of yet. I'm more of a singer and a toner. So just utilizing the vocal cords. But I do have, with the symbols, I do have synesthesia, which I see light, color. That's my natural state of being, is the light,
Well, I think that's a form of communication with light language all by itself.
Yeah. So I am looking forward to it and kind of excited to move in that direction, as listening to the sounds and tones and hearing the different soul languages coming through. You beautiful people. It's a wonderful experience, and I just the things that I'm learning about it. The lady with the long curly hair spoke about Judy Satori, and I realized this a little while ago. Her aka that she uses is actually connected with the Phoenix star system. That star constellation comes from there. So just kind of learning to interpretate the languages and their star systems is fun.
I agree. I just absolutely love it. That's funny that you said that too about Judy Satori, because there's a few people, including Bree, that were activated by watching Judy Satori. So it's very interesting. Several people who have come to my hangouts over the last 4 years have said to me, I was activated by Judy Satori.
I know you said not about Oracle, but this is not really Oracle, but I must show you because you talked about the full circle. And before we met the last time, a symbol came through, and it was this one. And this was going on your door.
Oh my God. That's
Can you
I was
hold it
just
up?
looking at, yeah, hold it up just a little bit higher. I was just looking at my front door today.
It has also
Oh my God.
3 triangles in it. Paul the Venetian came in this morning, which is the 4th Kohan, the 4th ray, the heart, which you guys are talking about a lot today. And there was also this that needed to see.
Yes, she sent me that.
With your star and this going on, you're having this right now. We're all having this right now. So, and I also see that with the emerald tablets to the gentleman, that I'm actually on the emerald coaster right now, but the emerald tablets are in all the rainbow colors and in more colors that we can't perceive here. So, and the light languages flow, you know, very ancient. It's who we are. It's light. Through the Enochian keys, they talk very much about this, you know, who we are. It's very beautiful. We're here mirroring and reflecting, you know, through the shadows and the lights for this Christ consciousness, these children of light, which we are. So that's it.
Thank you. Oh my God, that was really awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, and I do a lot of, you know, I do other hangouts and videos with Oracle and stuff. And it wasn't that I wanted to discourage that modality. It's just that Bree knows me, and then we'll go off on Oracle tangents, and I won't come back to, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, and I hold her responsible for keeping me in line here with my time and my topics. And so, because I love all of the multidimensionality of all of this. And eventually, if we decide we want to incorporate that, that's fine. But for now, I wanted it to really be focusing on the light language. But everything that you said, like I was looking at the star on my front door today. And for any of you who don't know, I just had a new front door put on my house not too long ago. And I picked this beautiful glass door, and it's got a star in the center. And I got this emotional, like the day it was hung, I got this emotional like response that a star is born. That, and it wasn't about the ego. It wasn't about that. It was about this. It was about see each and every one of us completing that circle, like you said, being the mirror, speaking your truth. And when someone else, and just like teachers, and if you're a parent or a teacher or whatever, when you see something light up in somebody, a realization, when you see them go be a better version of who they were before, because of something that you may have said or done or inspired, there is no greater gift that we can give each other. That's what this is about. And this was about honoring all of you who I have not had the opportunity to honor in the way I wanted to honor you. And that's exactly what I said to Bree about my motivation and my intention for this was I wanted to honor those of you who have been through this journey with me, who just starting this journey with me. The people who have been, who contact me every day by voice and email and private messages, and the people I want to interact with, those of you that I have met through light languages. And yes, of course, it's about all of us going out there and spreading this energy but it's not, like I told Bree, it's not about likes and shares and subscriptions, and it's not about that. It's about this. It's about connecting to each other. That has been first and foremost, my only motivation for even starting my YouTube channel or doing any of this was simply to connect with like beings like me, that my soul family, and as Rachel said it earlier in the side chat about the light languages, it is our soul languages. These are our souls talking to us. If we can only see, we think our team is like this big or 10 or 20. No, you guys. Your team is an infinite number of fractals that keep growing every day. Every time you change, you grow a new mirror. You grow a new side. You grow a new, that's another thing I love about this apple, you guys. Oh, how did I got stuck on Brandy? Sorry. I'm talking and I wasn't even paying attention, but see all these little sides to the, every time we grow, we create a new fractal, a new mirror. Our crystalline being is always growing and creating another mirror. And every time we meet each other and connect with each other, we create a new mirror. We illuminate something different within each other. That's what I wanted to do with all of this. So, we're really over on time. I wanted to thank all of you because I know I told Bree, beat me up if I do that, you know. But being that this is the first one too, I just want to make sure everybody got a chance to talk who was in the room, and I want to make sure everybody always gets the chance to talk. So, but
Please,
you all know,
don't beat her
if you know me, you know how passionate I am. Go ahead, David. What'd you say?
Oh, I was saying, please don't beat her up.
Please don't beat her up. So anyway, because
Love
and you guys all know, sorry, I'm pouring my water. You all know how passionate I am about this passion that I have. And you all know, if you've hung out with me, I can talk for 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 hours, sometimes more. I've actually had more, believe it or not. And I came back from family reunion last week and a wedding, and I lost my voice. I couldn't speak for a week. So, so if I'm over exuberant today, that's probably another reason, is because I feel I haven't had a voice for a really long time, and I haven't been able to have time to do videos or events either. So I feel like I'm just like the champagne bubbling, bursting over. So thank all of you for being part of my bubbles and part of my bottle of of effervescence. You all have truly just, I don't know, like, I don't even know how to say it without sounding bizarre, but just really enlightened me and illuminated me and activated me. And I hope all of you have received something that you needed today. And whether you're here today or you're participating or you watch it tomorrow or a week from now, remember, everything's always now, you guys. Every single thing is now. There is no past. There is no future. We are living simultaneous parallel realities, multidimensionally, moment by moment by moment. This is who we are. And this is what we're learning about each other. And light languages is one way for us to expand and grow and create more crystal and more mirrors and more reflections to each other, and acceptance and embracing and loving each other. So Nia soto sobi laki sono soreshonate la giero sonote I baluko sonotoche ikia lesena sekira sonote ishiana ki sono orokoshate la kelandoriono korongoshe sekisa nete ikikia soso somosho ulakura shate sanisela imarako. Every time this week I've tried to sing, it hasn't sounded so great. So I may not do that today, because I'm still my vocal cords are still really kind of raw and tender. So, but miastota shekia, Hulia noa kosho noa kaya la sinakia, sinadia warakosana. Thank you from every heart of all of my hearts and all of my fractals. Bree, thank you so much. Thank all of you for being here today. Niato Sheki, and I know Miasoto Selia. Bree, I wanted just to kind of see if there was anything you'd like to add or say, or any read from it before we close out, and give any blessings that you might to give as well. And just to give you another thank you for handling all of this with me and for me, and for being such a big help to me all of these years. Thank you.
Oh, Wendy, I love you. I love you. This is just an honor. It's such an honor, and I'm happy that we've committed, right, to getting the party started here, getting the light language party started.
You guys have no idea how hard this was for me to do every week.
But like, we've wanted to, and it's time. Just like Linda Lee was saying, we're feeling the push. It's time. It's time to get rolling. Get it rolling. Just go. You're scared? Who cares? Right? It's about doing it.
Exactly. Do it scared.
Yeah, do it scared. And then the more you get into it, then you're like, oh, that fear was actually like a blessing in disguise. And like now I know I can overcome anything. So yeah, so we're doing this weekly at the same time, Wednesdays. Should have less technical difficulties next week, hopefully. And so check out Wendy's website, languagesoflights.com, plural, languages of
And we'll
lights.
let you guys know if we change, you know, because my page is always growing and evolving too, and we're going to be adding an events page and things like that. So if it changes where we put the links and stuff like that, we'll let you guys know.
Yep. So for now, it's on the blog, so you can check out the blog, and the Hangout link will be posted in the comment of the blog. For now, as we have
and this will be available on YouTube for everybody to watch. And I usually post the link to that on my Facebook page as well, Languages of Lights, so you guys can leave all your information. Go ahead, Bree. What were you gonna say?
Also, if people have, like, you know, when people comment questions on Wendy's Languages of Lights YouTube channel, this is a format where Wendy can also maybe start to answer some of those questions, or we might do a video. Me and her might do a video, you know, to do so. But yeah, we just want to give this open space for people to share. So I'm so happy everybody could join today.
And yeah, if you guys got, you know, if you guys have a voice, or not a voice clip, but well, yeah, if you have a voice clip and you want to play it, or if you want to speak a language and we want to get feedback from each other, that's kind of where I want this to evolve, sort of in a lot of these ways where I'm able to really to engage with you guys in a way that I haven't been able to before, that I feel like I've been really remiss in able to do. So I really appreciate that. And if you guys don't mind too, if you go to my website on my contact page, just send me your email address with your actual name, so I know the email address, you know, and the person's name. And then that way too, if I build an email list when we're doing these events and stuff, I can send stuff out to you guys too, if you want to. You don't have to. It's just if you want to. But otherwise, just keep an eye out on the page, and we'll be posting the events. And, you know, there's going to be a lot more to come too, you know, private stuff and you know, closed classes and things like that. But this was about sharing for everybody. So yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll say it in now. Hokatahara teseo sho ayini tihusu soko ushuso ehia usototo shisia natara asio toto shikisiani ati ayati oto shaka ara atatatasu ishakata susu suiki sihia siyosu luso iti ala hisi sukushi. Thank you, everybody.
And I just wanted to close this by saying, Galaxy Anon says, get this party started. Angela says, thank you, Bree and Wendy, so much fun. And Galaxy says, I'm not afraid anymore. Maybe the more we are open with our light language, the more amazing things will come out of it, to and from us. That is why we're doing this.
Boom.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah. Boom. Mikala say, I love you all. Thank you for sticking it out, and see you next week. Thank you so much. Much love to all of you. And remember, you are all teachers of the teachers. Mokole shahala malase kiata.